Chiefs of Ontario presents an introduction to education agreements.
Wache. This is Sage. Sage is one of the thousands of First Nations students that go to public schools in Ontario. Her community has an education agreement with the local school board to make sure that their students have the support they need, like transportation, language classes, and accommodations for those with special needs. First Nations have negotiated education agreements with school boards for decades. They can be a wonderful relationship building tool. The Reciprocal Education Approach, or REA, is a base tuition fee paid by school boards and First Nations. It ensures that a First Nation student can be admitted to a school board, and conversely, that a First Nation school has the authority to admit or refute a student. But it does not always cover all the services and support First Nation students need. Education agreements allow for well-negotiated solutions that incorporate the REA. It's a win-win-win for students, First Nations, and school boards. Ani. This is Dakota. He lives in a small city but goes to school in his First Nation community. Dakota's community school is cool because they have many classes and activities that make him feel at home. The school has daily Anishinaabe classes, awesome land-based activities like fishing, trapping, and snowshoeing. Dakota's school also has elders, language teachers, cultural coordinators, and education assistants that make Dakota feel safe, valued, and proud to be First Nations. Like Dakota, some students who live off reserve decide to attend school in First Nation communities. Negotiating education agreements for these students is important, as the REA only covers the base tuition fee. So what's not covered under the base tuition fee? Well, a lot actually. Important things like education service standards, First Nations language and culture courses, additional special education services and equipment, access to student data, and having a say in who school boards hire to promote First Nations student success, well-being, and achievement. Shego. As a First Nations education manager, Sarah understands the value of having an education agreement in place for their students and community. Their community has negotiated for better diversity practices, including hiring more First Nations teachers at the school board. They have also included student transition supports, aggregate student data, and curriculum reflecting First Nations culture, values, and history. Their education agreement gives them a tool to advocate for their students' well-being and success. Segoli. This is Nimki, and they attend grade 12 at a public school 20 minutes outside of their home community. At first, Nimki was nervous about attending school outside of their community, but they soon learned that their community has an education agreement with the school board that makes sure they have the access to support services that are designed specifically for students from their First Nation. The school's First Nations culture and student well-being support worker has been a great support to them. This year, Nimki is on track to graduate with honors. Well done, Nimki. Students like Sage, Dakota, and Nimki are just a few of the many First Nations students who benefit from an education agreement. Chiefs of Ontario has generated an education agreement template to make negotiating your EA easy. For more information, please visit education.chiefsofontario.org.